Episode 13 of Season 3 of Tales from the Darkside, the ominously named The Milkman Cometh. That's right, we get an evil milkman. Actually, it's about a milkman who can grant you wishes, just like a genie, or more like a devil, because these wishes, of course, can go wrong. Now, this is actually a very smartly written episode that does a good job developing its characters, and has some creepy moments when this milkman comes into the picture. The main character is Gary Cooley, who's in a bit of an unhappy marriage with a wife that was once thought to be infertile. However, he learns from people around town and from his own son that if he leaves a note with his discarded milk bottles, that the milkman will come and pick them up and maybe grant him his wish. We never see the milkman in this episode. We see his shadow, we see him walking around, but we never see exactly what he looks like, which does add to the tension, since nobody's able to see his form, but he is able to pick up these milk bottles and deliver you your milk late at night. So people begin to get rich around town. One of his friends now has 8 cars, but Gary knows something is going wrong when he is told by one of his neighbors that he left a note for the milkman saying that he wanted to replace his wife with a younger woman. So what happened? Well, his wife ends up dying. And this guy is telling Gary this story, that his wife died in a car crash, and that you really have to be very precise on how you write these notes. If you say, replace my wife with a younger girl, well, you will get that younger girl, but your wife's going to die since you said replace. And this is an interesting twist on a monkey's paw or genie episode. Things are going to go wrong, but having the milkman as a villain actually works really well with the way that they do it. Him always being in the shadows and Gary trying to stay up late at night, trying to catch a glimpse of him and actually talk to him, and never being able to accomplish this. And look at the milkman uniform, it looks crazy anyways. This came out in the 80s, so I'm not sure even at that point how often people would still get the milkman, like the 50s and 60s, but I guess there are a few of them still around. Unlike now where you can get all your food delivered right to your house. So Gary gets some of his wishes granted. He wants to be a writer. Who didn't want to be a writer in the 80s? Either that or a stand-up comic. And he's able to quit his job and pursue his dream of writing. He's also starting to drink a lot more now. And supposedly he's getting money. They mention this, but Tales from the Darkside often does. They don't do a very good job of portraying this. At least give him a bling or something so that we know he has lots of money. There's one part where he throws money at his wife a little bit, very obviously like fake money. But an example of maybe showing rather than telling. Like I said, just buy some fake jewelry or put some fake statues in this location. We spend most of the episode, unfortunately, in their kitchen, which doesn't look very good. Not the best setting, but it has to be close to where they bring the bottles out for the milkman. So I guess that's why we're in the kitchen so much. But so unlike a lot of other genie episodes, it seems like there is a way to manipulate the milkman and have him just do good things for you if you ask him for really simple things. It seems that he was able to ask for money and he got it. He was able to pursue his job of being a writer, and he mentions that all these ideas that are coming to him just immediately, and he's able to quit his job. So keep it very simple. I want money. I want to be a famous writer. That might not work. Maybe he'll become like an alcoholic. I want to be a famous musician. Actually, that might not work. You might have a drug addiction at that point. The best part of this episode is the couple times that we get to see the shadow of the milkman, or the camera following the milkman as he walks to pick up the milk. Now, he always does these deliveries late at night so that nobody can see him. And we never see his face, but we'll see his shadow, we'll see his feet, and at the end we do see his hand, which you can see here, looks a bit alien. And we get the reveal at the end that the wife is able to actually have a baby. And the baby, I think I've recognized those claws from, the milkman. So they have an alien baby. Now, does this mean that the milkman impregnated the wife? I almost want to think that's what they're saying. But he does have these magical powers. He can give people money where he can make their dreams come true. So, most likely he just didn't actually have sex with the wife. He just made her have an alien baby. But who knows? She was acting a bit dodgy. So I think the Milkman Cometh is going to get a very high 6. I don't know if I can give it any more than that, since the best parts are with the Milkman, but he doesn't appear all that much. Most of this episode, The vast majority of it is a family drama with the guy dealing with his wife and her thinking he's becoming too lazy. And even though he's making all this money from betting at the racetrack, but we don't see this wealth and more scenes of him walking and interacting with this alien creature would have been great. And also, I understand they don't want to show the face, but they already show the hand. We know that it's an alien, so I don't know. They might as well have just shown the rest of his body and the baby itself. Just showing a little bit of a claw that's obviously just a glove on someone's hand is a little cheap, I think, even for Tales from the Darkside. But the scenes late at night are really good, so this one's definitely worth watching. The moral of the story isn't just be careful what you wish for, but it's actually be realistic with what you wish for. Be grateful for what you have. Robert Forster played the dad. He was in the Quentin Tarantino movie Jackie Brown as Max Cherry. What a manly name. And Mulholland Drive as Detective McKnight. Shannon Wilcox played the wife. She was in the Julia Roberts movie Runaway Bride. And in the serial killer drama 7 as Woman Caught Behind Desk. Yeah, that's the way you do it as an actress. You get in a really good movie and then play a bit part and you go, hey, I was in the movie 7. Really? Did you have any speaking parts? No. But the movie just wouldn't be the same without me. Let's look at 2 reviews. This person gave it a 10 out of 10. Great! Such a clever idea. Executed great. The milkman around the neighborhood has never been seen. However, he supposedly grants your request if you leave a note with your milk. Robert Forster buys into this and starts asking for more and more stuff from the milkman, but that doesn't cure his impotence. Yeah, the wife can't have kids, but I'm not sure if it's because of his impotence or her infertility, but he finally asks for a child and we get a disturbing twist ending. It's an alien child. The acting is really good and the whole plot is just really nice. I recommend you watch this if you can find it. Well, I can find it. I did watch it. I gave it a 6. And 1 negative review, 4 out of 10, only semi-successful. Unfortunately, the bad stuff outweighs the good in this semi-successful episode of Tales from the Darkside. It stars cult favorite. Everyone loves Robert Forster. Robert Forster, as a suburban husband who's desperate to have a baby of his own, his only problem is that he's impotent. Both reviewers said that he's impotent. Maybe I missed this. I thought it was the wife who was having trouble having the kid. Oh, his boys can't swim. I missed that. I thought it was her fault. It's his fault. He's impotent. I thought her ovaries are messed up or something, but nope, seems like it's him. However, when he hears a story that the local neighborhood milkman has the power to make wishes come true, he's interested. It's not a bad premise, if I'm truthful, but the execution is less than impressive, and there's too much of the broad comedy to make this a decent tale. Well, I wouldn't say it's comedy. They're probably referring to the parts where the husband and the wife are arguing. I don't think it's really supposed to be funny, but there is too much drama and not enough milkman. You see him for a couple minutes in this. And the shots where he's walking are the best part. Forster is excellent value, but there's a tendency towards overacting from the other actors, particularly the actress playing his wife. The climax is odd, to say the least. The climax rules, but next up is episode 14 of season 3, My Ghost Rider the Vampire. That tries its best to be like a horror tale from the 1950s. And check out our playlist for all episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000, Tales from the Darkside, of course, Black Mirror, Cowboy Bebop, Fear Itself, Monsters, and Pet Shop of Horrors. Thanks a lot.